Now, Mr. Yen, you went from general manager of American Express to realizing the importance of tourism, as a way of opening up Taiwan to the world. Now, that got you thinking and being involved in a lot of things. Sure. And the impression you've given to the Taiwanese people is that you have huge global visions for Taiwan and its tourism and, I don't know, whatnot. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, actually, to make it short, throughout my life, from very day when I was a messenger until I become the chairman of the Taiwan Visitor Association, I become, chairman for many other organizations in the world, for only one purpose. I feel that tourism, for many people just thinking about it's just one of the business. But to me, I think tourism is the best vehicle to making friends for the countries, for whatever you're coming from. Okay, so I carry that with a lot of passions. So I want to make friends for Taiwan. I joined leading hotel of the world. I was once the chairman for the leading hotel of the world, Asia Pacific. Right. I joined Young Presidents Organization. Okay, I run the World Conference in Taiwan as a chairman. I run the Trans-Pacific Conference in Taiwan. I joined PARA, Pacific Asia Travel Association, for only one purpose, to making friends for Taiwan. But by doing that, you're attending all these international organizations, you make yourself become more globalized, okay? And you realize what other people is doing for their own countries.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
So when I learn all this, when you come back, you realize at first you think you are trying to making friends with others. Actually, they give you a tremendous opportunity to learn something so yourself.
True. Yeah, that's
so
right.
A lot of my knowledge, or people so-called my global vision, is based on because my participation in different organizations, my physical attending for many important conventions, and of course with a lot of passions. So when you come back, you're trying to open your big mouths and trying to influence the decision makers, trying to tell the young peoples, you're trying to warn the societies what they're doing wrong or what they should focus themselves. Yeah.
And how much of an influence do you think you've done on the government, on the people in Taiwan, with all this? You've been doing a lot for Taiwan, traveling abroad, going to conferences, and bringing back so much information and knowledge and a lot of valuable advice for the Taiwanese people and the government, I'm sure. How do you think we've been doing so far?
Well, never enough.
Never enough.
I have written about 6 books.
Yes.
Okay? There are books talking about the future of Taiwan. There are books communicate with young students. There are books talking to people about you have to be an angel to yourself and to others. Okay. Most recent book I talk about education.
Yes.
Okay. I discovered Taiwan is very backward. Okay, we have such a huge education resources.
Yes.
We have 165 universities out of 22 million people. Practically every kid can go to university and they still have some leftovers, have extra space. So obviously we grow ourselves to a situation. We make young people believe went to university is a solution. But it is not a solution unless you truly learn something that you're able to do well.
Right.
So, yeah, I wrote a new book, and the book seems selling very well.
Okay.
But the more important is we have to change the policymakers. Okay. I was invited by the previous government to the presidential office to give speech. I did about 3 speeches.
Yeah.
And the current government, yes, I did. I also invited to the presidential office to give speech. I went to the public. I'm one of the popular speakers in Taiwan.
Yes.
But it's never enough. You can never, depending on one person, change the whole situation.
Yeah. I understand that you're doing a lot over on the East Coast, especially helping the children of indigenous tribes. Can you talk a bit about that, how you got started with that part? And I know you're putting a lot of your time in it. apparently just in July, you were busy over in that area, the East Coast, with a lot of like English camps and children's camp and everything.
Ours, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
You're turning young yourself.
Well, I did about 7 camps in one summer. You know,
Wow.
I have over 100 some volunteer from America, from China, from all over the place, from the world, yeah, and from West Coast as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it's rather exciting. I believe for 2 very important reasons. One is the East Coast is a very unique place. That is a place without industry. The only industry they have is tourism.
Yeah, that's
and,
right.
And they have the most spectacular sceneries from Taruka Gorge all along the coast. They have a beautiful mountains and beautiful oceans.
I was born in Hualien.
Oh, is that right?
myself.
So you know yourself, yeah.
Yes.
They have 7 indigenous tribes there.
Okay.
And each one have very rich cultures. So I think my frustration is most of the young people over there, they are measured their talent exactly equally with the kids in the East Coast, West Coast.
Okay.
But the reality is most of the kids over there, indigenous young people especially, they are very talented in music, art. They in Taiwan, most of the outstanding singers, 7 out of 10 is coming from the East Coast.
Yes, that's right.
You know, and
We're so
in Taitung
blessed.
itself,
Yeah.
within 10 kilometers, there are 10 persons have received the Grammy Award in the Taiwan version, you know, Grammy Awards.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, these people in their own hometown, they have no platform to perform. They have no education system to support them. They all have to use their own talent with their own self-learning kind of situations. So I think this is not fair. We have not really given enough opportunity to develop their talent. So I went there to build camps. I went there I'm trying to do a school actually, to develop their talent.
Is this what the Alliance is all about?
Yes, the Alliance is aligning a lot of artists, musicians, all the different talent from the West Coast, from the world. I bring them over to the East Coast.
In
give
exchange,
them
right?
Exchange,
Yeah.
yes. And it's been doing very well so far. And I believe this will be the future. Also, another reason is because on the West Coast of Taiwan, it's like any part of the world, when you're too developed, people are in a very nervous conditions. I mean, they are working under pressures. They are in a noisy street, cities. You know, they have no room to get out to get a fresh air. East Coast is totally different. I think people one day you realize, I mean, how many cars do you want? How many house do you need? How many watch can you wear? Gradually, people will realize they are the material, chasing after material, the time is over. You know, with the global warmings, with all the life have changed. People is looking for simple life now. People is looking for voluntary simplicity is the word we used to say.
Oh, okay.
I think the East Coast is exactly the place can provide you this. We have a lot of bed and breakfast place. We have artists who run a little small bed and breakfast place. You can go there not like a tourist. You can go there stay for a couple of weeks and live, sharing their life with you. To learn how they live their life, how they can easily enjoy with the natures, and which I think the indigenous people at the East Coast is really our asset, can provide that environment. And of course, another selfish reason is I do not like the East Coast to be ruined. Okay, because if we have just developer go there and build buildings and make it like a Waikiki or like another beach resort, I think that would ruin the place. I think that we have much in depth can offer over there. Yeah.
Yes.
I would like to mention something about the Ministry of Education, Stanley, right? The Ministry of Education.
Yes.
That you show.
Right, Stanley Yen. Yeah, what he said about it.
I think it's very interesting the analysis he did. Like, don't put water into a bucket, but rather to light up a fire.
Yeah.
So I think it's very interesting because in some Taiwanese universities there will be this trend of putting students into competition. Like, for example, if there are some grades, they will be sent by email revealing the names.
Oh.
So
yes.
I think it's very surprising. I think it's very positive that there's people like him in Taiwan. And it could be positive if it also gets into some universities that they still have these kind of techniques of competition. Because I felt what you said about your father, it kind of applies as well in these kind of techniques.
So it seems like that's the conventional way of things, how things are done in Taiwan. I think Taiwan is learning, you know, it's changing, it's learning, but very gradually. You know, a lot of the trends, other countries catch on before it finally gets to Taiwan. So, do you intend for me to say something to the education ministry? Is that what you think? I don't have that right.
Well, I think he has some
a
very
points.
Positive mindset, but some professors probably still have they still need to gradually change, and also, for example, openly say or compare students. I think that's very, from my point of view, it's very negative, and it's also even frustrating. Because I think every person should kind of challenge him or herself rather than compete, because everyone has a different background. So I don't think it's positive, and even I think it's, as you mentioned before, it can be even in somehow frustrating.
Yeah, like Stanley said, he said he's only one person. He wished that there would be more people that can do the same, you know, have the same goal, have the same dream and direction, and work together. It really takes more. But of course, it has to start with one person, and he's doing a great job. He said I forgot if that was the video I put, but he actually was invited to the government and spoke 3 times. But then at the end of it, he said, "I'm an idiot," because they weren't listening. They were just there and kind of looking at their watch and trying to say, "I'm sorry, I've got the next meeting to go to." I've written a letter to, when Ma Ying-jeou was Taipei City Mayor, I wrote an email to him because back then, when my kids were younger, this has to do with English. I have, you know, I'm critical about the way English is taught in Taiwan. My daughter was in kindergarten. She came back one day and said, Mom, I learned a song today." And she started singing. She said something, ramble, something, ramble. I'm going like, "Cynthia, what's ramble?" "Tai Hong ah." I said, "Oh, it's rainbow." He said, "No, teacher says ramble." And I'm going like, oh, I wanted to cry. Okay, then another time, it was at work, and I called to give my name. And so I spelled my name. I said Shirley. And the other person goes, "Huh?" And I'm going, Shirley. Oh! And I was like, oh, I wanted to cry again. You know, nothing critical of you guys, okay? But so I wrote about this in the letter, because I think. But the thing is that he never wrote back to me. It was through a good friend. So my friend told me that, oh, he said that he got your email. He did get the letter. You know, I said, oh, okay. But, because I think afterwards I realized that there's nothing much that he can do. You want to try to change everybody's mentality in the government alone, it's going to, I don't know what it's going to take. It's not easy. So I think he's aware of the problem, but he doesn't know what to do about it. But anyway, Stanley decides that he's just going to, no matter what everybody else is doing, he says that he's just going to start it by one person, and as long as he lives, he's going to work on it. I think he's got a great heart. And I told him, I said, gosh, if there's anything I can help, because I'm in media, as if I can really help him, but, you know. But after, while preparing for this and watching his video again, I said, I really, really want to get in touch with him. and just let him know what I can really do, you know. But takes you starting, I don't know, and then getting people on it. It's hard because like you know, with global warming, I wish that everybody knows that you need to love the earth. So switch off the lights, you know, save energy. But if it's only just a small group, but you've got a whole world to educate, it's still going to be hard. I mean, I'm thinking the weather, now winter is like so cold, it's extremes. And in the summer, it's like so hot. I mean, when would it be when we just walk out there with short sleeve and we couldn't get sunburned? Just a matter of seconds. I don't know if this is true, I'm not a scientist, but yeah. So, but thanks, yeah.